Well, happy Sunday, everybody. It's Buster, and today is February 18th, 2008. I had a vertical sleeve gastrectomy on February 5th, 2018, and so today is my 2-week post-op update. So we'll start with some stats. My starting weight back before this whole extravaganza started was 506.4 pounds. My weight day of surgery was 468.4, and my weight today is 452.0 pounds. So that is a loss since surgery of 16.4 pounds in the last 13 days. Tomorrow will make a full 2 weeks, and a total loss of 54.4 pounds in just over a month. So since January 15th, so that is literally just a month and 3 days, I've lost 54.4 pounds. So pretty amazing. I'm feeling pretty good today. Really feeling pretty good overall. Um, and what I want to talk about today is how I'm doing, how I've felt over the last week, and then just share some what we call NSVs, the non-scale victories, some things just that I've noticed about myself in the last couple of days and weeks here. And so I guess how am I doing today? Really the pain is minimal at this point. If I really sit up using my abs, like if I don't push up with my arms, or the other night I had laid down in the bed, my back was hurting, and I'll tell you why here in a second. Pretty awesome story. But I had laid down in the bed for a second to kind of straighten out my back and try to loosen up my back a little bit. And then I had rolled over onto my side, and I kind of, something I couldn't have done, 54 pounds ago, is I just swung my legs down to the floor and then used my abs to pick me up and didn't use my arms at all. Like I just sat up using my ab muscles. And that kind of put a little bit of a strain right where the incision's at, the big incision where my stomach actually came out of my body. And so that was kind of painful for a minute, but really not too bad. And so the story of why I needed to lay down for a minute is actually really cool. And I'll share some details, but not too many. Basically, we have a family member through my wife's side of the family who works for the White House that coordinates travel for the president and the vice president and the first lady. And we got a message on Thursday that said, "Hey, do you guys want to come watch the vice president land in Dallas tomorrow night?" And we all said, "Well, heck yeah, we want to come see the vice president land." And so we got to go out to the airport and actually see the plane land and see the whole procession, and it was amazing. I don't know if it's a once in a lifetime experience, probably. Hopefully get to do it again. That was really cool getting to see that happen. Getting to see, the security detail and all the things, the pomp and circumstance that happened when one of our dignitaries lands. It was pretty cool. So whether you like the president and the vice president or not, it was definitely awesome to get to see the plane up close. He flies in not the big 747, but it's a modified 757, but still really cool. And but there was a lot of walking involved with that. So we went out to Dallas, and then we had to walk a little ways. And so that is one of the non-scale victories. Getting a little bit ahead of myself, is that I couldn't have done that 50 pounds ago. It was a pretty far walk to get out to where we had to go, and did the walk, and then had to stand for about 30 minutes while we waited on the plane to land, and then come around and then see all of them disembark the plane and get into the motorcade. So just really cool. I got to get about 4 feet away. I wasn't up at the front of the pen, and so I didn't get to get up and shake his hand or anything, but we did get to get pretty close and kind of wave and say hi to the vice president, and also Senator Ted Cruz was there. And so pretty cool experience to get to see something like that. Again, I'd have gone, I don't care who the president was or vice president is, I'd have gone to see it happen. So awesome experience, and thankful that I can do that. And again, you know who you are, who invited us, and thank you very much for letting us do that. That was an amazing experience. How I felt over the last week. it's kind of come in waves. So overall, I would say I'm feeling awesome. I don't regret the surgery at all. It's awesome to have lost 54 pounds in a month. The scale continues to go down every day. I kind of see a trend where it's usually like one day is about a half a pound, then the next day is like 2 or 3 pounds, then the next day is maybe no weight loss or a half a pound, and then the next day is another 2 pounds. And so it's kind of just that's the way it goes, I guess. But 16 and some odd pounds down since surgery, and 54 and a half pounds down since a month ago. That's pretty well insane. And so it feels great. The flip side of that is now that I'm getting closer, I start my pureed diet here in just 2 days. I would be starting it tomorrow, but because of the way our schedule works out, I have to go to the doctor on Tuesdays. And so going in on Tuesday to see the dietitian where they're going to progress my diet, and I'll get to move on to pureed food. And so as I'm getting closer and closer to getting into real food, there's kind of this, I don't want to call it regret because I don't regret the surgery, but it's like FOMO, fear of missing out. There's a little bit of FOMO going on in that things have to change, and that is certainly why we did the surgery and why I went this route, because I want things to change and I want to lose the weight, and it's working. But there's always, the thought, I was talking to Ashley just the other night about, if we go ever in the future go to eat sushi, I'm bummed that I can't, get the 5 different things. But that's okay. That's something that I'm working through. It's an emotional thing more than it is anything. And it's going to be okay. Like I said, the weight loss already has been fairly drastic. I'm hoping, I go back to work a week from Tuesday, so I'm working from home right now. I'm actually in my office. I'm going to start filming in here, I think, a little more quiet and private in here, and just easier to keep things set up, whatever, and then doing it out in the living room. So working from home, and that's going okay. Ready to get back into the office, because obviously when you're disconnected, personally from everyone that you work with, it's kind of challenging, but making it happen. Everything's going well, and looking forward to getting back to work. And by the time I go back to work, I anticipate being down another 10 or 15 pounds at least, maybe more, hopefully, we'll see. But at least another 10 pounds. And so hopefully you guys, when I come back, you'll see that there's a pretty big difference. I'm thinking about wearing one of my biggest shirts that fit, that I bought when I was at my biggest, just so you can see, like, it's like a balloon on me now. Pretty amazing. Anyway, so that's how I'm doing. Really, that's the only negative, and that kind of comes and goes as the days come and go. But really, overall, it's positive. Feeling good. Struggles that I'm having, getting in my water every day, that's kind of challenging. I'm pretty good at getting to at least 40 to 48 ounces of water, but pushing that up to 64 ounces has really been a challenge. I naturally just don't drink very fast, and then yeah, that's the biggest challenge. And then also the protein. I've really have been sensitive to the texture and the taste, and getting in the protein every day has been challenging. I'm supposed to be getting between 40 and 60, and I'm really still kind of getting 30 to 40. So I'm hoping that once we get to the pureed foods, I'll be able to get some protein, from the food. I think in a cup of beans, there's like 15 grams of protein, and then in an egg, there's like 7 grams. And so as we get into pureed foods, I'm hoping I can get some protein from the food sources, and then I can have one protein shake, and that will get me to that 60 to 80 grams a day goal. Ultimately, we want to be at 80 or above, and so really just trying to get to food so I can get my protein. It's hard for me to get down the synthetic stuff, just the taste and texture. I'm really sensitive to that, and it's, almost makes me gag. Anyway, that's how I'm doing with that. And then I wanted to share a couple of non-scale victories here. And the first one is that my clothes fit better, or they fit. So there's clothes that I bought, year or two ago, and that had kind of gotten to where they weren't fitting, and I had to buy some newer clothes. And so just in general, my pants stay up better. If you're a big guy, you know how that goes. Your pants slide down your butt. You can't keep them up. And so the pants that I have now are fitting a lot better. They stay up. I don't have to constantly walk around with my hand, kind of holding a belt loop up so my pants don't fall down. So that's been really awesome. I put on a jacket. As a jacket I bought about a little over a year and a half ago. About a year and a half ago, I went on a trip to Vegas. I needed a jacket, so I bought this really nice zip-up jacket, and I wore it on Friday night, and it had gotten to the point with that jacket where it didn't cover my belly all the way, so I would wear it, but I just wouldn't zip it up. And on Friday night, I put this thing on and I zipped it up, and it covered everything, and it actually has a little bit of room in it now, so that's really nice. And a shirt that I had worn 3 weeks ago that was almost like a belly shirt, actually covered all the way. And so my body's changing, and I couldn't be happier about that. I already talked about this, but I can walk a lot further. I don't get out of breath as easy. Now, Friday night with the walking for the vice president's arrival, I did have to stop on the way back to the building where it was, but all in all, I think it was about a half a mile, a quarter mile out to where we had to go, and then we had to stand around for about 30 minutes, nowhere to sit, and then another quarter mile back, and that's more walking than I've done since I can remember. And so just that I could do it was awesome, but it definitely was hard on my joints, my hips particularly, and the muscles in my legs, and partially due to the fact that I'm still a big guy. Two, I'm not getting in the nutrition levels. While I'm on this liquid diet, I think I'm getting in probably 400 to 500 calories a day. When I was on the clears only right after surgery, I was getting in less than 200 calories a day. And so there's just not enough fuel in my body to keep it going. And so, that's getting better as I get more food in, but also I'm getting more active up and around the house, walking around. And that's the next non-scale victory, is that I'm able to help out around the house a lot more. And so I can take my own trash to the kitchen after we eat, or my dishes or whatever. And I actually helped clean the kitchen a little bit last night, and it wasn't just a real pain to do that. Pardon me. And so just feeling like I can contribute around the house a little more now is pretty awesome. Being able to just get up and come into my office to do work is awesome. Just generally being able to contribute and be up and around and not have to, before when I was at my biggest, I would go into the kitchen and I would start washing dishes, and I would have to either bring a chair into the kitchen so I could sit down and take a break halfway through, or I would have to, if we were cleaning, I would kind of clean a little bit, then I'd have to go sit down for 5 or 10 minutes, then I could get back up and help a little bit, then I'd have to sit. And so being able to just help is nice. So still having to make myself do that, and I'm by no means a saint, and I'm certainly Ashley still has to do the bulk of it, but we're getting to a point where that's not going to be the case anymore, and so I'm really excited about that. And then probably the coolest one, and this is the last one, is being over 500 pounds. When I got into my car, and if you're a big person, I'm sure you can relate to this, especially if you were up around the same size I am. When I got into my car, seat all the way back, pumped down as low as it'll go, and even leaned back a little bit, it got to where my belly was touching the steering wheel no matter what I did. And so I drove my car for the first time this weekend. I'm still not doing a lot of driving, but I did do a little bit. And there's like 3 inches between my belly and the steering wheel, which is awesome. It makes driving easier. Like, I can actually use my hand and do the whole turn the wheel thing with one hand. I don't have to do the hand over hand motion that you have to do when you can't reach all the way around. And so it's just awesome. Already just these little things have really made a big difference. And so all in all, surgery went well, recovery is going well. I'm doing really well getting around the house, getting some activity in, able to be up and around, and I am certainly looking forward to another week or two down the road so that we can finally, I'll be back to pretty well normal, and I'll just continue to see these changes and sticking to the plan. Right now I'm on the liquid diet, back to what they call the full liquid diet, which is creamy protein shakes and soups, and I can have jello and pudding and all of that kind of stuff. Still, I'm not really hungry, so I don't eat as much as I should, and so I'm going to have to really work on that. But otherwise, things are going really well, and I'm doing good, and feeling really good for where I'm at. So I'll keep you guys posted as we go. I'm going to do these more often. I apologize for this one taking as long as it did. I did the 4-day update, and I didn't really have anything to say new at 1 week. And then I was trying to get on a weekly schedule so I can upload these weekly. And I probably will do a weekly update, but if I may make a quick video here and there throughout the week, maybe via Facebook Live or something like that, if there's something that I want to share with you guys. That way, I know everyone was getting kind of antsy because it's been a week, and this is the longest I've gone since we started without making a video. And so I'll do better with that, keep you guys in the loop. But as of now, down 54.4 pounds, 452 pounds total is what I weigh right now. Started at 506.4, feeling awesome. Today is today is day 14, really, if you count Monday. So today is the 2-week update, and we'll keep you guys posted. If you made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe and share. I want to get the word out to anyone that will listen. Please know that this is in no way intended to be medical advice. You should listen to your surgeon and what your surgeon says to do. I'm just sharing my story and my experience. So thanks for tuning in. Love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.